But you see, I have this question that I don't know who has the answer to. Because you see, we can do intra family analysis within the family
Okay.
to assess how the treatment is, what are the principles and all that. But inter-families, like what is there to regulate from family A to family B? Like what is not working and how to bridge that gap? Who is responsible for that?
I think we are utterly responsible for that because you said something about the quality of life. So if I have to make a quality decision that I am going to take this route, okay, in terms of trying to be responsible for my kids and for the decisions that I make,
So that is for you.
okay,
But somebody else is not doing that. Who regulates that?
We've seen ups and downs. I know you don't understand the things that I've said. I just to say it anyway. I cannot put it all away. This means a lot to me. This means a lot to me. It's family time.
you see, and now it's like we are quite on. I say I don't think unfortunate will be the right word to use, but we are uh, in a setting or a system that we believe that perhaps hard work, working hard with your strength, with the prime of your strength is what is going to make you financially free, which is ideally a different case. So when we talk about financial structure, even in family, it's a total different education we need to render for that.
Yeah.
But ideally, in the context of what we are talking about, okay, financial, uh, should I say incapacity, if that word is actually fit for what I'm saying, is
Instability.
instability or the lack of it, the
Yeah.
lack of actual finances to actually fuel the quest of protecting, providing for your family is a problem, especially when it comes to your life. You think about the quality of life that is at times I think we don't really have the time to read between the lines. We don't
No.
read between the lines because I think that definitely we would want to have children. Children are a joy.
Yeah.
But to think about it that if I am supposed to bring out something from my loins that I don't have the capacity
To
to take care,
raise
that particular responsibility gets rendered to another party
another organization
which wouldn't fit the actual purpose of
of
what you should
yeah.
render.
That is so true.
That is what
That
is
is so
happening
true.
in
And it leads me to the interview I was talking about. And this TV personality was like, why do we now have like a lot of children very very young, 5 years to through to probably 18 years, and even basic education they don't have food, and they are expecting other people who have now built their wealth and become successful, oh, we are pleading with you to come to our aid.
it's always like that. It's always like,
It shouldn't be.
okay, so now I would have this ratio. Like, let me look at this ratio of breakdowns that I want to read this for our viewers so that they would understand. So I looked at the graph, a little graph, especially in this American sector of how of what we are talking about in terms of provision and
Yeah.
so with the economic part of the economic impact of children, okay. So economic impact of
Impact
children
of
in terms
children.
of
Yeah.
poverty and everything. So we know that kids in single parent homes are 4x more likely to live in poverty.
But hobby.
Okay, so that is the census data that we had as of 2023.
2023.
The poverty rate for that was given. That means kids in single parent homes are 4x more likely to live in poverty. So that is kids living with maybe
Yeah.
with their either maybe the mom or the
Just the
dad.
mom or the, yeah.
Okay, so 6% was for case in married couple families. Okay, so the 27% of that was for case with a single mom.
Right.
So the poverty rate we are talking about, it connects to the worst schools, food insecurity, less access to healthcare, and it's a long-term drag on economic mobility and workforce skill. So let's say with this, it also leads to education and crime stats.
Yeah.
So let's look into that. So if you look about the high juvenile justice involvement, it is way up to 70%. 70%. Okay. So we say in mental health plus relationship, so we are saying that the data linked to a father absence, a father absence in a child's life, it leads to higher rates of teen depression, anxiety, earlier sexual activity.
That is so true. I also read an article, I think last night, and they were also saying they had this statistics or survey in prisons with youth.
Okay.
And they identified a 92% of the youth or the juveniles in those prisons had their fathers absent in their home.
Juveniles.
Yeah. So let's say 100% of youth in a prison, and they went there to survey all of them. Out of the 100%, 92% of them, when they asked them, they grew up with only their mothers.
So we look at these surveys and everything that we've read out. So that is actually struggling for the basic essence of survival and identity.
Yeah.
So most of them are actually financially linked. Okay, so we see that if this is a problem that society now has to, I don't know, should we coil it? Should we regulate it? Should we kind of keep it under control?
But you see, I have this question that I don't know who has the answer to. Because, you see, we can do intra-family analysis within the family to assess how the treatment is, what are the principles and all that. But inter-families, like what is there to regulate from family A to family B? Like, what is not working and how to bridge that gap? Who is responsible for that?
I think we are utterly responsible for that, because you said something about the quality of life. So if I have to make a quality decision that I am going to take this route, okay, in terms of trying to be responsible for my kids and for the decisions that I make.
So that is for you.
Okay.
But somebody else is not doing that. Who regulates that?
So that is where I'm coming to. Do we have to? So the regulation of that is the quality of people or the quality of individuals coming together to create a family. So, for example, that's why I said there is an endless loop. A single, for example, if you grew up with one of the parents absent, the quality of training you get, meeting with somebody who also grew up with the same kind of dysfunction, coming together, having kids, products of the same, that's the bridge.
Yeah.
That is, so what you pass. So we are saying that for what will show that your parents actually did a good job, it's not their children, it's their children's children.
But that would be after the harm has been done and many years later.
And I'm saying that is going to be the endless loop of that.
So in the course of that decision making, how do we regulate it?
We cannot.
I don't think there's a clear-cut way.
There is not a clear-cut way, because the actual fact of the issue is that we cannot delegate that job for the government.
Exactly.
Because the government is not responsible for training your kids.
No.
For disciplining your kids.
Exactly.
Because when you even come to this jurisdiction, discipline is now something that has been
slowly siphoned out of.
I'm saying I don't want to even say, I want to say consciously eradicated.
Yeah.
I will not say
And it
it's being
started bit
eradicated.
by bit, and now it's
It
gone.
subtly, and
Yeah.
now it has become a thing that if you are a parent and you discipline your kid, you are now liable. You are now liable for prosecution.
Yeah.
So, uh, this great king, in before Common Era, in a Jewish king said this, that foolishness. Okay, I'm not even trying to digress from the point. He said foolishness is conjoined on the heart of a child. It takes a
Takes a
rod.
rod to the why.
Yes,
No, the tree hits hard. I was
it hits
himir
hard.
but abofra kuma yedi abana wife ho.
So you get what I mean. So I'm trying to. So that means that children are not, children who really want to, let's say, would I even say children or teenagers, people who really want to be older than they actually are. They don't really have that kind of.
No, and
They
a
are not.
child is not supposed to be able to
You are
make
not really. You are
decisions.
not
You are a
really. You are
child.
not really that smart.
That's why you have parents to
How?
guide you.
If a child wants to be engaged at the age of 10, you would have babies at 16.
Yeah.
At the age of 10, you should be engaged you should be engaged to your books.
Your
You
books,
should be engaged
learning
to things
values,
that is actually grooming you.
creativity,
That
exactly.
is the line of engagement. But so if you want to be older than where the level you actually are, or what you actually are, it is always going to breed a dysfunctionality if there is no actual structure to regulate you. That is where it really starts
Yeah.
from. So I think we should be actually responsible for our actions. You see, society, as we are talking about now, that is not a responsibility for them to actually do the grooming. They do it actually late. So if you are trying to imprison somebody who is 30, 40, because they didn't have families to train them, now they are in prison. That is where that is now you are now about to render the training. That
The
should have been done.
secondary, yeah.
So now at the age of 30, you are telling them when to wake up, when to sleep, when
Ain't
to
gonna work.
exercise, where to. So you are rendering this training for somebody who is 30 years or younger, relatively, or even older, at a point or at a time in their lives where it is actually difficult to actually penetrate. It's like you are trying to now work on hard cement.
It's gonna be difficult and may not work.
You see, we don't prune people like that. That is what society tends to give you. Society will now tend to train you late. They will imprison you and they call it training. They call it moral. They are trying to inculcate moral values into you. But where was it before you actually got to that stage where you had to be imprisoned or you
Yeah.
had to be incarcerated or whatever? So that is the job, or I wouldn't even say it is, that is the work, that is the responsibility of families.
Yeah.
You see, the identities, the lack of identity crisis that many people in society have now, that is where that is where even children tend to join gangs right now. So okay, now do you know what you need to, the rights or the structure of this gang that you need to be, because you know that they are also little family. You
Yeah.
know, gangs are now little family. Little families you get because you don't get the embrace of acceptance, the embrace of love, the
Right.
embrace of a sense of being.
Yeah.
That is where you tend to get it from. And now they will be like, okay, you know what? You have to break into this store or perform this kind of ritual so that you can be accepted into the fold. So now you have to prove something to have a sense of identity, to have a sense of belonging, which ideally shouldn't be the case.
Usually ends in a wrong path. Yeah.
So we are still going to emphasize on the same point. The quality of families. Every country you look at that prioritizes family. I don't really want to make an example, but there is a clear example that is irrefutable that I can make. If you look at Jewish communities, they are always, I would say they are always improving. They are always rising above levels.
Always getting richer.
You look at their communities, they have low crime rates.
Yeah.
Low crime
A
rates.
lot of inventions.
They have low So if we talk about low crime rate, it connects to a lot of things: theft, murder,
Yeah.
all these kind of.
Rape.
Why? Because they prioritize family.
Families.
If any community or any country that you see them developing, shining, their primary source or their primary function, the primary wheel that keeps everything rolling as it should is family.
Families.
So if you look at the quality of their country, you look at their quality of life, it tends to shine on the quality of family.
Yeah.
So any country or any jurisdiction, a society that prioritizes family, that is, it prioritizes security, it prioritizes identity,
Identity.
discipline,
Yeah.
provision, it tends to later, I think 3x, 4x, whatever ratio you can attach to it, it skyrockets the
Yeah.
quality of life in
As
the.
compared to, yeah.
So that is it.
But can we list some of the, maybe like point out some of the things that are happening in these modern families that are dysfunction?
Okay, so I think the quality of time,
Time. I think that is a very important point.
and it could also lead to one thing that I would actually blame it on. I wouldn't blame it on, but I would think it's now, should I say, a cancer? Is this?
Phones. You know, my professor invited me to her home for dinner last week, and when I went there, her parents were not in, her husband was not in, so we were chatting in the kitchen, trying to fix dinner and everything. I wasn't part. She was trying to fix dinner.
Okay.
I was reading a book, and then when her parents and her auntie's husband came in, and dinner was served, they were like, "Okay, this is the tradition. The first tradition is that you don't go to the dining area with your shoes." So you take it off in the hallway.
We look at this and be like, we
Before
enter the
you
bedroom with it. Go.
The second tradition is that no mobile phones at the table, not just at the dining area. Did you know that about 60% of the people who watch the Talking Drum podcast have not subscribed? Yes, if you are one of them, we urge you, we plead with you to subscribe to our channel, share the link when the videos come out, and keep on liking the videos. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey. So I had to keep my bag at a corner, which had my phones inside.
How did you feel?
It was good. It was a great feeling having we just talked.
So what is the prime thing you can point out in the whole thing that you're trying to present? If you can point out one thing.
There was effective communication.
There
was quality time spent together.
So what does that breed?
It breeds connection.
Okay, so what does the connection breed? So we are.
What do you want me to say?
So
just
look,
say it.
So look, I'll just look at the line you are drawing. Effective communication.
Right.
So first of all, we talked about quality time.
Quality time.
So we are not talking about time spending alone. Time spent. We are talking
Quality.
about quality time. So from that, what did it move to? Effective communication. From effective communication, what did it move to? Connection. That is what you said.
I mentioned another thing. Yeah.
So
because you know what we did during what I describe as quality time. We talked about how was your day. So the father, my professor's father, was the first. Oh wow, how was your day? And then my professor is a female. So the in-law, the father-in-law asked him, "How was your day today?" Because he had a big thing going on in his company.
Okay, so the how was your day is a deep question. It depends on who you are asking. So, even in our,
I was so impressed because this maybe in like how many years I've not no.
So in modern day relationship, you can even ask how was your day. You think it's a direct question. How was your day? Good.
It was okay. I mean, I went out, I came back. No, and then he actually described how his day went and how he met new people and all that. And they asked me, AJ, how is going on in your life? No, it was nice.
You tell your mom, said, is it necessary?
You see, and I talked about what is going on in my life, and the dad gave some advice, and they asked the auntie how was her day, because she went around seeing beautiful things. She's on vacation, and she was showing. So then she had to. She was like, all the pictures are on my phone. So the father-in-law was like, okay, that's an exception. Go upstairs and bring the phone. We want to see the pictures.
How did you feel?
No,
You see the culture, and you see that culture standard that that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we talk about that is synonymous to them. Mm-hmm. So you see that training the child gets. So that child coming into society is not a child that is like let's say, let me put it this way: that child becomes generally interested in any particular relationship they get in.
Exactly.
And if you are also somebody who generally becomes interested in the other person, especially not only with what you tend to gain, but what you also tend to have, you build quality relationships. That quality relationship opens doors for you, opportunities, connections. This is how we build community. That is how we build society.
Right.
So now that child coming out has an identity.
Right.
No identity crisis. Cared for, protected.
They feel no matter what happens outside, they know when they come home, there's this acceptance and love that will meet them. At least somebody will ask them, how was your day?
So do you really think finances play a role in that?
For this one, I don't think, no, you don't need financial stability to establish this.
You get it. So we talk about basic finances, as you raised earlier, in the aspect or in the analysis of being able to provide, let's say, basic needs. As we said, like that is the basic, like food, clothing, basic protection, shelter.
Right.
So we talk about that, and we talk about how to build a family structure. Most importantly, identity crisis, the things that we point out. Okay, we are talking about, we are saying quality time.
Quality time.
So we know that being able to connect as a family hold is what actually forms.
Very important.
So that is what actually forms the structure of every little thing you need to connect to society.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
That is true. That is so true. And talking about, you can't talk about quality time without establishing effective communication. And I think that's also a major.
We don't really have that. Some people, I think some people, as I can have, you see, we always talk about when one side of the parent is absent, it is always a problem. So I think we have people who be like, oh, I don't know how to communicate. I have low self-esteem.
And people don't know how to communicate with the opposite
effective
sex.
Communication. You really think that some people will be like, you know what? We've heard it on this platform, even with a woven woman. You see, Jackie, midwife Jackie, told us that even. Okay, maybe I think if she actually didn't say it on this show.
No, it was off show.
It was off show when we were talking about this, and she was like, even at the point where she had her first mention, it
was her friends.
You see, but because she didn't have that kind of.
Some things are seen as a shame within the family setting. Like if we can't talk about it in the family setting, where can we talk about it?
Because we don't have this structure, or we don't have this kind of setting that is created, that we have a bond we share, quality time that, okay, a father will come from work, a mother will come from work, will call all the children. We were all not fortunate to have a dining table. But I
had a dining table.
Okay,
just that we didn't like.
You had I didn't. We didn't have
a whole dining hall.
Our dining table was a big circle that my mother would create. So it's like my mother would just bring the food. So that's what happened. So she would, after she would put the food, she would serve the food in a very big bowl.
And
everybody,
was nice.
We all would gather around and be like, eat. We would divide the portion.
But that one, it wasn't like you are eating and discussing it, because it was survival of the fittest.
That is what I'm saying. So,
if you start talking, by the time you realize the food is gone.
That is how I grew up. So it was like, anytime I was
fastest fingers.
So you think that you are going to grab the meat or the meat, you'll be like, hey, eat.
It's like, the food.
You're like, like, pow, pow. Yo. So it's like, that was the setting. So you see, we grew up always eating together. My brothers and I, my mom. that was our setting. After school, you know that meal is supposed to take you to the next day, and it's supposed to sustain you. So, yeah, this term, my sisters and my brothers really laugh at this now. It's like, hey, you, this woman, it's like, hey, that's what I had at that
Yeah.
time. You see, now that kind of discipline, cause it shaped you. Now look at you now. So yeah, that is the setting.
Yeah.
So we know that it created an impression. We know we always eat together. So when I came here, I went to my aunt's place one time, and she had her kids from back home, but she brought them here very young. They came to America very young, so they really have their basic foundations, their structure, their way of thinking as American children. So it's like this time we were about to eat, and I was like, I hope you are all eating together. I was like, nah, everybody has their own plate. I was like,
yeah, everybody takes their food to their room. That's what.
it's like, oh, you don't touch my food. It go to a point you touch somebody else's food, they'd be like, I can't eat the food. I was like, wow, this
new.
I didn't grow up in that setting. It's like it's like a camaraderie. I try to invite everybody. Let's eat together. That is how I got to understand, trying to be generally interested in the next person, trying to build a connection.
Yeah, you build a connection from there. And it's in these moments that in a family that you can voice out things that are hurting you emotionally, sexually, and all that. And then in a family setting, you're not supposed to feel ashamed for saying certain things, but you are supposed to be guided in the way to channel it, or you are supposed to be corrected when what you are saying is wrong, so that when you go outside, you now have the confidence to say it.
See, all these things we are talking
but
about.
you'll be shunned. Hey, shut up.
So all these things sounds foreign, because it makes it feel like, oh, maybe perhaps somebody getting the opportunity to hear this podcast shouldn't feel that, oh, AJ and Nyame read this in a book, or maybe perhaps
we are talking about
that is the ideal purpose of family.
Yeah.
That is what it's supposed to serve. The fact that you didn't have it, or the fact that you didn't experience it, does not make what you experience the right channel.
Yeah.
That's why in the beginning when we started, he said you can unlearn, relearn, and you can really adjust, because it's like it has now, as we said, I'm going over everything we said again. It has now woven into the fabric of existence right now. That is what we know. And we can't blame our parents for it.
No, we are not here to
blame or chastise or point fingers. They didn't know better. What they got, the quality of life they got, is what they gave to us. Let's also take it, as we are talking about that, we also take it into the matters of discipline. So do you think now you are supposed to, let's say, whoop a child?
This one,
This one, yes.
This one,
This one we are supposed to talk about.
You see, the phrase we said some few minutes ago, children are meant to make mistakes and misbehave and all that. It takes some level of correction and discipline to raise a child.
So now, the dysfunctionality in that proportion is that the government, society, or any organization should not interfere in the family's business of disciplining children.
Unless it is an abuse.
Unless it has levels to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you should body slam children I know we have a lot of broken bones.
We also have some parents who have some frustrations and they lash out on their...
Especially we, the people from the diaspora, okay, sometimes we should all go and take CT scans and x-rays. We have broken bones we don't know about, but we can't talk. we are carrying broken bones in our system, and we don't have an idea that we are carrying like chronic injuries.
Right.
That we it's not, or most of the time it's not work. It's an injury you've been carrying since the age of 10. You don't know.
I remember one time talking about discipline.
Remember?
My mom is a teacher. So she would bring the kids and come and hide them behind the cushion.
Anybody listening to us from every part of the globe you are accessing this podcast, okay? When we say your mother is a teacher, Especially if somebody is coming from the diaspora telling you my mother was a teacher, is or was, whether
Public
dead or
school teacher,
alive.
not private.
We are not talking about education in okay.
Public school teacher.
AJ's exegesis would give you a very
You know what we did? We used
confident
to have
understanding.
a house help living. I mean, I think I grew up most of the time having a house help in the house, and then
So you grew up with a
me,
silver
I was
spoon.
a DB. No, I was a DB. No,
This,
people will be like, "Why do you?"
I
say,
wouldn't even say silver spoon, golden spoon.
Why do you say you were a DB? There's a reason why. Now I'm not.
Mine was stainless steel. It was.
I was a DB. I mean, as at class 4 or class 5, I had my own room.
So
I got my own room at class maybe 4.
A DB. Okay, so
And
basically,
my sister had her own
a
room.
DB.
My brother.
That content is for somebody who really grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth.
Yeah.
That's the context. So
Yeah.
okay.
So we had, I mean, different house helps. Yeah. So at one point there was this house. Oh, I really like this lady. And getting to Christmas, my parents buy things, provisions, I mean, groceries and drinks, pastries to host visitors. And not just to host visitors. I mean, we can also take some, but yeah. And I remember vividly, my dad bought a crate of soda. So Coca-Cola, Sprite, Fanta, named them. So it was a whole crate. And I think it was either 24 or 30. How many bottles?
Okay, I used to carry, but I didn't use.
I think it's 30.
I think it's 30. You're talking about
That
the old one, the old
one,
crate.
yeah.
Let me see. It will be either 24 or
Either
30.
24 or 30.
Yeah, I think 6 and 4.
It's 6 and 4,
It's
right?
either
Or not 6 and 5. I don't know.
It will either be 6 and 4, or 6 or 5. One of those.
Them, yeah. But I remember it was the whole.
So if it's
like
6 and 4, it's 24. If it's 6 and 5, it's 30.
Or 30. And they kept it in their room. They placed a napkin on it, and they placed a white lace on it. And we were anticipating Christmas to start taking them. And this house help convinced me. I was like, you are the one who can go to your parents' room this evening
to do the due diligence.
So it started one evening. He was like, Mena, you just go and bring one bottle and let's drink. I went to bring the one bottle. We finished it. Nah, it wasn't enough because myself, my sister, and her. So she sent me to go. I went to bring
3 people trying to feast on that.
Within a week, we drank the entire crate and we left the empty bottles in the crate.
Okay.
My mom would not have had a problem if we told her that
This is
3 of us, we've squandered the whole crate of soda or minerals, as we called it then. But what infuriated her was that we had a visitor. About my dad's company. My dad worked in a bank. My dad was a bank manager. So he had prestigious people come around. And these are, co-managers and all that. And they were oblivious to the same napkin was on the crates, the same white whatever. So every time they are in the room, they see the thing.
Though, but you have not finished. But I know. Okay, you go on.
So the visitors were, I think they were 4 in number or something. My mom called me, Mena, yes, mommy, go to my room. There's a crate of, she described, I know where the thing is already. There's a crate of drinks there. Remove 4 and come and serve the visitors. I think I was 10 years or something. And then I was standing there. Abadi. I couldn't walk, I couldn't go, I couldn't freeze. I was just, my mom was, it's in our room. I couldn't go. And then she herself got up and went to the room, opened the thing to her amazement. She was dismayed. She didn't say anything. She was like, she just gave me money or go to the store. Go to buy. I went to buy. She did in the evening. We ate dinner. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Around 2 a.m.
For I know the thoughts I have for you.
Oh my God. I will never forget.
Thought of goodwill.
All 3 of us. I think my sister was not I think my sister was like maybe 6 years or something. So
love it.
It was just myself and the house help. Oh my God. Hey! I was really beaten.
For I know the thoughts I have for you.
You see, but come to think of it,
you were blessed beyond relief.
Why would, I mean, you can ask for it. Why did you people steal? And you drank the whole 24 bottles. We drank
Hey.
everything.
Stamina.
Yeah. And so for children would do a lot of silly things. Silly things that some of the silly things can actually cost the parents money, can cost. Children have set fire into
But
homes.
prior to that, after the ass whooping, did you repeat that mistake?
No!
Oh.
Never in my life. Never
Because
again.
you now had a reminder.
Yeah, so now when I see it, I'll ask, can I take it? And then they'll be like, yeah, you can take it. And so for that instant, you need correction. It's inevitable when raising children.
So do you think if you weren't put in that rigorous training, I don't know the level of
It wasn't
rigorousness.
pain that would cost me to, no, it was, I mean, the next day I forgot about the pain.
You know, the product of what we have here today is as a result of that training.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth it?
It's worth it. I won't see somebody's thing lying down and go and pick it.
So why is there a current agenda, even in our schools and everything?
I don't know whether the future consequences have actually been thought about.
Because we are in a system where now a child can actually dictate for a teacher, even go to the extent of having a physical altercation
Yeah.
with a teacher
Yeah.
for being corrected.
Yeah. Which I don't know the goal for that restructuring of, yeah, but I don't think it's something that's going to end well if not really
So
watched again.
Where you from?